The Oscars are 10 days away, and one of the documentaries nominated for Best Feature uses police body camera footage to tell the real story of a neighborhood noise dispute in Florida that ultimately ended in murder. Here's a clip of The Perfect Neighbor.
911, what is the outcome?
Somebody outside. Come here, y'all boys, come here, come here. Hey, y'all boys, come here. Come here, stay over here. You sure she got outside? Yay!
Sheriff's office, come outside with your hands up!
The film's director, Geeta Gandbhir, calls the footage undeniable and telling the true story of what happened. And I'm pleased to say Geeta joins us now.
Welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So just for people who haven't seen the film, can you give a brief overview?
Sure. So Ajike Owens was friends with family members of mine who lived and still live in Florida. And essentially, there was an ongoing dispute between her and a neighbor, Susan Lorincz, who lived across the street, over the local children playing in a yard near Susan's house. They had permission to be there, but Susan was constantly calling the police over a 2-year period. And on this one fateful night in June of 2023, Ajike went over there to try to talk to Susan about a dispute that had happened moments ago, and Susan shot her through her locked front door, again a locked metal door, and killed her in front of her children. And this was an incredibly tragic case. It was in the news, but myself and my team at Message Pictures were immediately called into action by my family members, and we were on the ground very quickly trying to support the family. And so that is the connection to the film and how it came to be.
And so you have this connection to the family, and now what do you hope people will understand and learn from this documentary?
Sure. So the body camera footage came to us about 2 months later, after Susan was not initially arrested. And we were deeply worried about stand your ground laws because we have the precedent of Trayvon Martin. As we know, Trayvon Martin was stalked by George Zimmerman, who then, there was an altercation, and then George Zimmerman shot him and claimed stand your ground as defense to get off. We were concerned about the same issues. So when we got the footage from the family lawyers, again, this is my team at Message Pictures, we strung it out into a timeline and looked at it. It was about 30 hours, and it went back 2 years. So it documented the lead up to this murder in a way that we never see, really. Even as filmmakers, we could not have recreated what happened. When you see this beautiful multiracial community living together, loving each other, doing everything right, and have this one outlier and her access to a gun and her manufactured fear and weaponized racism, sort of tools that, again, are being used by the powers that be, she was sort of symptomatic of that.
What was her defense?
She claimed that it was self-defense. She tried
behind a closed door?
Yeah, she was emboldened by stand your ground laws. So the police just treated her as a nuisance, even though they were called to the scene multiple times. And the neighbors repeatedly talked about how she was using hate speech against children, she was filming them, she was threatening them. Her arguments were with children under 12, these altercations, again, who were literally just playing in the street. And the police, again, failed to see her as a threat. Even though they showed up on scene and were kind to the community, she was able to weaponize her privilege in a way that they never saw her as a threat, and they never saw the community as worth protecting. Because, again, a multiracial community, they just didn't see them as needing protection from her. But her access to a gun and these stand your ground laws, I think, led her to commit this heinous crime.
Well, we so appreciate you being here, and just such a creative also way of that footage to tell a story that people really need to hear.
And it's nominated for an Academy Award, so we'll be watching and cheering you on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, folks, we're going to be right back. We got a lot more news ahead. Stick around.